kale mukulikeyo mukuwumulako nkyali ne mwami Salongo yatuli mu mboozi ye. Omwami ono yava mu ggwanga lino omwaka gwali gwa 93 n'agenda essuuji eyo n'asooka n'akola naye ate n'akomawo e Kampala. Bwe tukomye afiiriddwa kitaawe era mu mbeera z'okutambula ezo teyamuziika era paka kati ekintu kikyamuluma kimulumira ddala kubanga oba oli awo singa yali yasigala e Kampala ng'omukulu we yali amugambye nti oba oli awo tutetenkanyiza wano ojja kuba bulungi osanga yandikoze atya yandimuziise oba yandimulabyeko ak'enkomerero bandibadde bonna at least in some of those difficult moments. That of course never happened, and of course it was the air goes to Rwanda. Things turned out the way they turned out. But that's the kind of thing that happens to so many people that leave this country and go abroad. It's why we are doing this show, My Journey Abroad. The show is produced by Addict Films Limited. We encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and share this video. Make it a point to visit the website addictfilms.com. Now we have this incredible thing for young kids that want to pursue acting and cinema. We have a campaign, it's called My Little Star. Yeah, we are seeking for the next big thing in film. But through kids, we want to create these stars while young. So please, if you go ahead and check out the website addictfilms.com, you will find that information. Mwami Salongo, ennaku ekuli ku mutima tozise kitaawo tebitambudde bubi nnyo naye ate si ebirungi ebiri awo e Rwanda ozizzaako ki?
Bwe nakomawo okuva e Rwanda bwe twamala okwabya olumbe, I tried to devise means of getting something to do. But then it was not easy. I tried to go to town, to Kampala, to look around for jobs. It wasn't so easy. And then I was confused what was happening next. But then one day I was sleeping and I just thought of what can I do in order to be able to earn a living. Now, at the same time, I was hearing from people whom I left in South Africa that the situation was better now. These guys had started, doing other kind of business apart from the one that they started with. So I just thought, what can I do? But then one day I was sleeping, I thought of making bricks, these blocks, kuba matafali. Yes, agetaka. But what is funny, I even didn't know what is mixed to make those bricks. I didn't know. So I was wondering, what do they mix? They put in what? I just didn't know that they put this stuff into that katiba and put that thing there, but I don't know what they used to mix. So one day I went to my sister, my elder sister. She's called Nachibuka. And I did ask her about these bricks. Do you know about this? What do they mix? Oh, she laughed at me. She told me, no, they just, mingle that soil and, put it there for some time and then they start making those blocks. Oh, yes. Hey, now she had a son. She told me that his son could come and help me to show me how it is done. Now he came, that boy came, we started making those blocks with this son of this son of my sister. Now we made so many blocks. It was about 15,000. Yes, we made that. What is it called? Tanur. And then one day, Moses, the one in South Africa, phoned me at the neighbor's, from the neighbor's phone, and he wanted to talk to me. So I went to wait for his call, because during that time, not so many houses had, landlines. So I waited for the call, and he called. We talked. He told me, he was asking me actually, what are you doing? You are so quiet. You don't even write us letters or what? I said, hey, my brother. Yes, hey, life is so bad this side. So he told me, I would rather suggest that you come back. I said, sure, really? Yes. He told, yeah, you should come back. I told him I don't have money for the visa and all this kind of stuff. He told me, no, I'll provide you with the money and I will buy the ticket.
Wow.
Which means the situation had improved that
drastically
side.
Changed.
Yes. So he bought me the ticket. I went for the visa. I got the visa. And then I flew back to...
Wow. This time you traveled with the plane?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Okay.
So
what happens to your business that you've left?
This business of mine, actually the idea behind was to make those blocks, build a small room for my wife and children at my father's estate. And then I was also trying to make money, sell the rest of the blocks, and then go back to South Africa. Yes, I was going back to South Africa. But then it was a bit difficult. But at the time Moses phoned, I had finished everything, because we had already finished twatumaze kuzocha nga zindiridde just to
disposing of.
Yes, yeah.
Kati olwo sebo ogendedde mu nnyonyi kati?
Yes.
Ozeera Johannesburg?
Nzizeyo Johannesburg. What amazed me, because what I didn't tell you, during the first time when we went to South Africa, because we didn't have money, you could even walk with your shoes and the shoe could get a hole and you put a cardboard inside. That was the kind of situation that was there. But then what amazed me, these guys came to the airport to welcome me. Each one was driving his own car. So, hey, it was really a good thing.
I am thinking, at that point, you welcomed like some kind of...
A big brother.
A big brother, yes. Or something like that.
Yes.
And over Kutanuru Yamatafa.
Yes.
I mean, like 2 nights ago, a night ago, you were thinking about...
Even my fingers were still rough, because it is not an easy job, that one.
Were you feeling kind of, for lack of a better word, stupid?
Sorry?
Were you feeling a little bit stupid compared to your friends who had stayed the tide?
Yes, I said, yes, because hey, these guys, even the ones who were in a very, very bad condition, they were so well.
What was going through your mind at that time? Are you thinking that there is something these guys are doing that is not right?
Yeah, what happened to me during that time, I said, I'm going to work so hard also in order to be able to be like them.
So Moses had come himself?
Yes, he was a big man. He was a big man.
Okay, so they pick you up in, all that glory.
They picked me up, and remember, I left here not knowing how to drive. Then I was so amazed the way he was driving on the streets there, on the flyovers up there, until when we reached home. Hey, it was really making someone, feel like you want to start working tomorrow.
So we are talking about which year now? This is 95, 96?
Sorry?
Which year are we talking
about? That was 1996.
In 2 years,
Yes.
there had been such a drastic change.
Yes.
So the blacks at that point, when you go back, the blacks now are more, you know,
Uganda bagezigezi bayiya. They started devising means of, you know, living in that country. Irrespective of what we thought that we are going to be going there and work here and there, so they decided to make their own businesses.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. What kind of businesses were these that, you know, the kind of that were really specialities for Ugandans?
They used to open up shops. Some were opening up shops, others were making salons, and some others were who have got professions like builders or engineers. They used to do certain things that could, you know, make
that were falling in line with their. Yeah. And of course, there was big money because there was shortage at that point.
There was a lot of shortage. Yes.
Okay, so kati osula wa Moses.
When I went straight to Moses' house, and I was living in his own room.
Okay.
We were sleeping in the same room.
Okay.
What he did again, when I reached there, he took me to some places to buy some new clothes and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Yes, and for the first time, he gave me 1,000 rands, just put in the pocket. Now we have got money. Yes.
So
yes, he told me that, yeah, you have to work. And they were really working.
Okay, so what's the strategy around this? How do you begin working to join that class of people?
If you get assistance, you just look for a place which is better for whatever you want to do, and then you ask around if there is a place that is can be rented for such. You rent it and you just open up your business.
Okay, so what was the first business that you did when you got there?
I went into the sale of clothing, different kind of clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, the jeans that we were selling on the streets and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
How easy was it for you to adjust, to fit in?
It was not so difficult because these brothers of mine were always helping.
Or they offered assistance?
Yes, they did offer assistance immediately. Yeah.
So what kind of, you're starting to do all these things. When was the first time that you achieved your first milestone? When you're like, wow, now I believe I'm not too badly off.
That's when I managed to rent a house for myself alone. And also I bought a small car, a Toyota car, but then I didn't know how to drive it.
Oh, so you just bought?
I just asked someone to go and drive it from where I bought it to my place. So I used to beg him to come and take me to certain places.
Okay.
This man is Mr. Charles Bukenya. So for him, he said, no, I will not be driving you all the time. You have to learn how to drive. But it was a bit difficult for me. I was scared the way how cars were moving on the street and all this kind of thing. I wasn't so, ready to start driving.
Why are you in Buvumu?
I wasn't selling a Buvumu. I was scared, but I knew the basics that when you are going to start, you put in one and all this, but I had never done it before. So one day it was a Sunday, tried to teach me how to reverse, start, and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
We did it for it was about 3 times. So the other time, this man took me to a freeway. He said, I'm going somewhere, just go with me. Okay, I said, no problem. We went together. When we reached a certain point, he stopped the car, moved out of the car. He said, "You're going to drive." I said, "This man, I didn't know that he's such a bad man. How can you..."
He wanted to leave the place.
Yes, I have never driven a car. Now you are telling me to drive on the freeway. What am I going to do? So this man told me, "No, you're going to follow this lane. It's for the people who are going slow. And then you must bear in mind that whatever happens, our lives are in your hand." Hey, I was sweating and feeling so bad about this man. I thought he's a bad man. How can you take me to a freeway and you tell me to drive now? Why am I going to drive this car? He said, "You're going to drive it. It's your car. You didn't buy it for me." So I sat, fastened the belt. He started
prepared for death.
Yes,
Real fast
yes,
death.
he told me what to do. He told me, "No, I'm here. I'm going to direct you." And he did it perfectly. We are going from Johannesburg to a place called Franacheng. We drove and we went safely. We reached the place where I was going to visit his friends. So when we reached there, I handed over the keys to him. He agreed to take the keys. I thought, now it's okay. He's the one going to drive. So they conversed with his friends and all. When we said goodbye to these guys, he handed the keys back to me.
Wow.
Hey, I said,
like I'm going to have to go at it again.
Am I going to drive again? He said, "Yes. This is your car. If you don't like, let's get a taxi. We go back home." Hey. I sat onto the driver's seat and we drove back home. We came back safely until when we reached home, he told me, "Now, that is your first lesson. Second lesson, you're going to do it yourself. You have to drive on Sundays when there are no cars, not so many cars, and then you will become perfect within just a short time." And I did that. So it didn't take me so long to learn how to drive, but it was through.
Yeah, there was necessity for it.
Yes, that's what he said, and he was telling me that this is your vehicle, it's not mine. I want to be able to get time all the time to
come and
to drive you around. Yes.
Kati omulimu ogwo ofunyemu emmotoka, ofunyemu ne Uganda otandise n'okupangisa.
Yes, sir.
What is your love life like at the time? Oba tonnaba kutandika kuyingira kuba akasente kati katandise okuweraawera otandise okulaba ku baana b'abantu awo.
Yes.
Nalongo wali naye.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yes. Nafunawo omukwano gwange gwe nali mbeera naye.
Okay.
Twawangala naye okumala ebbanga. Naye after some time she died.
Oh, you got her during that period?
Yes.
Wow. So you created something special together, like kids and, things like that?
Yes, we had a boy.
Oh, yeah.
She gave birth to a boy, baby boy. The girl was called, we used to call her Mirembe, but she was called Konki. Christine. Konki Christine. Okay. But for us, the Ugandans, we used to call her Mirembe.
Okay.
Yes.
So how was it easy for you to acclimatize yourself with, somebody that did not share in your background, yet somehow you did care for them that deeply? How were you able to connect at that point?
Come again?
How easy was it for you to, find love, with somebody that did not share in your background, perhaps even your upbringing and stuff like that? But then again, you fall in love with them.
You were forced to get someone, to befriend someone, because you couldn't stay alone for such a long time.
So it was down to loneliness?
Sorry?
Was it down to loneliness?
Yes, of course.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you just felt lonely and then you had to look for someone to stay with.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, The idea behind was to process some paperwork for the documentations of, South Africa. Yes, that was the idea behind.
Oh, now that means that's extremely interesting. That means it started as a strategy.
Yeah, of course.
For you to figure out how to.
Yeah.
Then it developed into something more.
Yes.
Respect and love.
Yeah,
and things
of
like
course.
That.
In any case, if you happen to go through that kind of process, the immigration there needs to make sure that you're staying with that person. It's not like you are going to, just get documentation and you leave someone staying somewhere alone. You have to be together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now officially we can say that you are a South African citizen.
Yes. Hello?
Okay. Where is this young man, your child?
He's called SSALONGO NSUBUGA.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's in South Africa.
Yeah.
We'll return after a break. We are going to delve into the aspect of him creating the brand that he created in South Africa as one of the more popular Ugandans. You'll be surprised by how many people have encountered him, or at least encountered by him, including the man from this place himself, Mutiaba Robert, who somehow shared a home with this gentleman, SSALONGO NSUBUGA. Katukomeo temuvao. This is My Journey Abroad. Yes, hello, welcome back from that break. I am still Martin, your host of My Journey Abroad. Tuchaline Mwami NSUBUGA SSALONGO eranga tuchagenda maaso n'emboozi ye yava mu ggwanga lino omwaka gwali gwakyenda mu esatu nga bwe nabagambye ayise mu bintu bingi naye eventually ofunye ne ku kasente kati owayo oguze n'emmotoka oguze n'emmotoka oyiza okugivuga ofunye ew'okusula nga wo obulamu bulabikira ddala kati kugamba okuva olwo kutambudde bulungi tukitwale muno kati awotandise okujooga.
Yes, watandika okutambula obulungi. Era from that time nafuna nanga ate abantu bembeera nabo awaka abalinga bakatuuka nga tebannaba kusobola kuba bulungi.
abantu abo olinayo okumanya gwoyinza okutunyonyolako abantu oba embeera ze bajjangamu.
Okugeza nga waliwo omukwano gwange bamuyita Jimeziwa yajjanga azze kutandikira ku mutabani we omwana wa mwannyina naye bwe yatuuka tebasobola kukwatagana bulungi n'asala wajja abeere nange era ne tubeera naye okumala ebbanga. Waliwo Jimeziwa, waliwo Muhammad Matovu n'abalala.
Kati abantu bano webaleetanga batandikanga kukolera
saabaleetanga naye bajjanga ne tubeera ffenna nga nabo kutandika obulamu obwabwe. Eventually nabo ne banoonya ebifo we bakolera ne batandika okwekozesa naye nga twabeeranga wamu nga tusula mu nnyumba emu.
Enkola eyo yakyaka nnyo South Africa kuba yakyali kiva ku ggwe ng'omuntu kubanga ku byonna byonyonyonyo kirabika nti n'abantu bagezaako okweyambayamba mu mbeera efaananako bwetyo ddala omuntu wabanga yakatuuka nga talina watuukira ebintu ebifaananako bityo.
Abantu abamu balinga bayambi okugeza nga kati tulina omwami bamuyita Medi, twamukazaako Medi Bri kubanga yakoleranga ku Bri Street. For such a long time has been helping a lot of people, most especially Ugandans. Up to now, he's still helping. He's the chairman in Johannesburg area. Tuna societies z'abana Uganda ye chairman naye nga avudde mabegera nga ayamba mu ngeri y'emu era nga bwe tuyamba bannaffe bw'aba yakatuuka oluusi abatamanyi engeri gy'atandikamu omukwatako n'omulaga n'omuyambako ne munoonya ekifo n'atandika okwetandikako naye.
Olwo tukyali Johannesburg?
Tuli Johannesburg.
Otambuza obulamu bwo bulabikanga obwesimisa at that point. Ddi lwotandika kubanga ffenna wadde nga tubeera mu mbeera ensuufu lumu naye ebiwonko n'ensozi bibaawo
ebyabeererawo ddala bingi.
Mu kaseera ako tofunayoko kantu ate kakunyigiriza?
Kaaliwo okugeza na shifting okuva Johannesburg mu tawuni wakati nengenda mu kifo bakiyita Everton.
What prompted you to do that?
We are looking for virgin places to work from, whereby people could buy your stuff abundantly, and
so that means at that point there was places
ezili virgin zitanaba kubeeramu nnyo abantu bakoleramu. Yes, kati nafuna ekifo bakiyita Everton. Nenfuna n'awasulwa nasulanga mu kifo nga bayitayo Franeghen. Kakati Everton yawo era we twasisinkanira n'emirembe the late. And nenfunawo n'emikwano gyange abalala bangi okugeza nga mwami Robert Mutyaba.
Mutyaba mulabiraawo tuli mu mwaka ki ogwo?
It was around 2001. From 2000 to 2001, that's when we met. Netusinkanawo ne Kajubi Hannington.
Kajubi, yes.
Yes. N'abalala.
Under what circumstances did you meet this gentleman, Mutyaba Robert?
We used to share the same businesses, so sometimes we used to come together to talk about business, to discuss and all this kind of stuff, and to socialize at times. Yes.
So you mean in 2001? At that point, what is South Africa looking like for Ugandan immigrants?
No, they were so cool by that time. There was no such pressure to the foreigners as such. Yeah, there wasn't any pressure.
There was still accepting.
Yeah, they were taking us all the same people in the country.
Okay, so leka tugende mu nsonga eyo gy'obadde oyogerako nti waliwo ekyakutukako mu maaso awo ekyali kyesittaza embeera etaali nnungi. Embeera eyo yali efaanana etya?
Waliwo incident bbiri. Incident eyasooka, by then nali ntandise okusula Franeghen. Nali lumu ndi mu kifo wenkolera. I was attacked by gunmen. They did attack me. I was beaten so badly. They were demanding for some money, which I didn't have. It was too much. They were asking for such huge amount of money, which I didn't have at the time. They beat me so terribly. They took my vehicle away from me. I handed over the keys. We were beaten. Actually, I was with another brother called SSALONGO NSUBUGA. He died after some time.
He died from that very
No. During that time, I was very sick.
Okay.
So when these guys came, I asked them not to mistreat him because he was very sick. So they concentrated on me. They beat me up and they took my vehicle. They put me into their car. We went to a bushy area. The place was full of blood. They told me that this is where we kill people from. So in any case, if you don't give us any money or anything that we are demanding, you are going to die right here. So they made us sit on huge stones. I sat on one and the other guy, SSALONGO NSUBUGA, sat on the other one. These guys were pointing guns at us. They shot one shot in the air on the side of SSALONGO NSUBUGA. The guy was so terrified and he was sick at that time. So during that time I was so scared. I knew that the time for death had come. But then I thought of a way of making these people taking us back to the streets so that people know what is happening. Now I just happened to tell them that, you know what, I've remembered, I got some money that I borrowed a certain lady. That lady had a butcher. She was selling meat opposite my shop. And these guys asked, are you really telling us the truth? I said, yes. If you are lying, you're gonna die. I said, no, I cannot lie to you. I'm telling you the bitter truth. So they put us back into the car. We came back to the place where they took me from. We went straight to the lady. She was busy selling to her customers. And then I did ask her politely. I greeted her, asked her that, Madam, can you please give me that money that I gave you to keep for me? I want to pay these guys. I have their money. I have to pay them. So the lady knew that there was something wrong.
Yeah, there must have been something.
Yes, so she answered that, okay, fine. She did ask the guys to that, please, I'm busy right now. Just give me some few, just little time. I'm just going to the bank to withdraw the money. Then I'm going to give it to him so that he can pay you. So the guys were trying to ask this lady if she was talking the truth. The lady said, yeah, it is true. But the lady knew these guys that they were thugs. So these guys left me there with a number, cell phone number, that should this lady come back, I should call them so that they can come and pick that money.
And what was their leverage? They had taken the lady.
The what?
What were they leveraging to trust you enough to leave you around?
They trusted the lady because they knew that lady was staying there. Okay. So they said if she was lying, they were going to come back for her. So, but what I didn't tell you, when we came out of the bush, as we are coming back to my working place, to this lady actually, they made me sign an agreement that out of the money they are demanding from me, I have given them my car for that money. So I should sign the agreement. So as I tried to read through the agreement, they just hit me. They didn't want me to read what they have written. So I just signed, not knowing what they have written. But they just told me that this is an agreement to show that you have given us your car for the money we are demanding from you. So when we went to the lady promised to bring the money, and then they went away. They left me with the note, with that cell phone number. So I just, after the incident, I just boarded the car and, I went straight home because I didn't have a car anymore. When I reached home, the moment I reached home, this lady phoned to the other guys whom I stay with at home. She was asking me to come back, telling me that there is someone who is going to help you.
A security person?
Yeah, I didn't know whether he's a security guy or something of that kind. So when I came back, they showed me someone. This guy was not so huge, was just an ordinary person size. Now, when I came, he did ask me to explain what happened and to tell him what kind of guys, how do they look like, and all this kind of thing. So I did explain everything to him, and he knew the guys. He said, I know them. So now, what happened, he gave me his cell phone and told me to call them on this number. They gave me. So I did call these guys. I did ask him, what should I say? Tell them that I've got the money. So I did tell them that I've got the money, and he told me that I should tell them that we should meet in town at McDonald's. So I did explain as he told me, and this guy ordered his guys. I didn't know what kind of personality he was, but he happened to be a gangster.
Oh.
Yes. So he told these guys to go and bring his guns from home. So they brought the guns, put them in the car, and then we drove to town to go and meet these guys. So when we reached there, we were in one car and 2 more cars following us. We were in the other one with him, and then he had escorts following him.
You left the lady at her?
The lady, we left her there. She told this man, actually, because she knew these guys. So when we reached in town, they told me to go and sit there by McDonald's. I just sat down. The moment I sat down, these guys, one of them just came and tapped me onto the back. And
the other idiots?
The other guys. So he was demanding the money. I was trying to explain that, I don't have money. I just came to request you to give me some time. Then these guys who came out with their guns to attack these guys. And then this gentleman also came with the other guys. They were both gangsters. So they started fighting in front of me there. I couldn't do otherwise. I was so terrified.
Bullets?
They never shot. They decided to fight, do fist fighting. And then it was within a few minutes, the police just came around. Someone called them because we were fighting in town. They were fighting in town,
public place?
in public place. So when the police came, we are all under arrest. Now this gentleman whom I came with to town is called Mr. Saint-Pierre. That is his name, Saint-Pierre. He tried to explain to these policemen that these guys are wrong. They came to my territory. I never gave them permission to come and do any operation to my territory. So you should arrest them. They just caught all of them, put them into the car.
Including the gentleman who is trying
with their guns. The gentleman was never taken.
Okay.
So he told me that he's going to find us by the police station. So he took his guns back home. They took all the guns for the other group. His guns were not taken. So, he was so feared in that area. So we went to police station. When we reached there, he didn't take too much time. He came back immediately. And then he asked them, where is the car? So they told him he was beating them terribly. He was jumping over them, beating them. And then the guys provided the car keys, and they gave the key to one of them. One of the guys, they went and picked up the car, brought it to the police station, and he gave it back to me. So he warned them never to do anything in his territory. They got territories there like gangsters.
It's interesting, the sheer lawlessness of that place at that time. Prior to that happening to you, did you even know about it? Like this places like this?
Yes, we knew. The place was dangerous. We knew about it. We used to know, but we were careful.
So how often, how many, prior to that happening to you, how prevalent was that situation?
How many times?
How often would you hear of such stories?
No, we would hear it from different places, but then it had never happened to me until that day. So when these guys were beaten by this man, they started now asking me to talk to this man so that he doesn't, harm them so much, because they were fearing him.
So he
was the boss.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a young man.
So the tables are turned around.
Yes, he was a young man, but he was commanding these guys like.
So we are talking about a situation whereby the gangs are essentially stronger than the police force.
Yeah, even at the police station, we were just out of the station, inside. Everything was settled outside the police station. Because when we reached there, the OC came and asked what is happening, because we were many inside. So they explained to him that Saint-Pierre brought these guys. He says these guys went to his area and did the operation without his permission. So the OC said, no, this man is you are going to cause us problems. Now the OC was talking to me because I was the culprit. The OC said, you Nigerians, you are going to cause us problems. Get out of the station. Just go outside and settle your problems, not from here.
Saint-Pierre was a South African Nigerian?
He's a South African. But those people, they don't differentiate us. They just feel whoever is a foreigner is a Nigerian. The Nigerian is a Zimbabwean. They don't know so much about our countries, like Uganda. By that time, they didn't know so much about these countries.
So how do you recover from something that is so humbling, a situation like that?
Yeah, Saint-Pierre gave me an escort to go back home. They escorted me up to the place where I was staying. And then from then, nobody did come again to my place.
So
he was always coming to look around to see if there is any problem.
So you were protected by the circuit?
Yes, he was my friend. He became a friend from that point.
And how did that make you feel, that you're one of a few blessed people that could walk the streets without fearing anything?
Yeah, I was secure because I remember one day I sent one of I just called them sons, but my brother, one of these boys whom I've been helping, I gave him my car to go somewhere. I had sent him for some stuff, but then Saint-Pierre happened to see the car. He chased him and arrested him there and then.
Like, what are you doing with
this? Why are you taking this car? And he phoned me asking, do you know this guy? Did you give him the car? I said yes. So he left him alone.
That is quite something. But Uganda, they got to know about the situation joining even by gangsters.
Yeah, they didn't know. They knew.
And that
even Mr. Robert knew about it.
How did that, they feared you, they worshipped you,
not as such, but they were always trusting that whenever there is a problem, I would talk to Saint-Pierre so that he could help us in that respect.
How many of those people did you help in that regard? Like, somebody maybe is arrested, somebody maybe is hurt. Then you decide, let me make this phone call and this person.
No, unfortunately, fortunately, we didn't have such problems again. It just started with me and it stopped with me.
So at that point, you were in Everton?
Yes, I was in Everton.
How long did you spend there?
It was about 4 years, close to 5 years.
So we are talking about now we're in the mid-2000s?
Yes.
So how popular is your name at the time, in that place? Like, how are Ugandans taking to you as somebody who is just that little bit superior to where they were, based on your connections and the protection that you had and the experience you had in making money, actually?
No, these guys loved me. We used to, they used to take me like their elder brother. So they always came for advice. And whenever they had problems, I used it to settle down whatever was happening.
Used to arbitrate?
Yes.
Okay, at that point, you were still in that business of clothes?
Yeah, we are still doing the same
business. So did you conquer that territory economically, with your brand?
Yeah, we did, but again, other nations came in, like the Senegalese and other Ghanaians and all these other countries also joined into the business. So the competition started.
How hard was it for you to adjust, knowing that a few people were buying into what you were doing, and of course now there was competition and the monies were not coming in at least as much as they used to?
No, we just accepted the situation as it was, but devising means of doing other kind of businesses.
Okay, so in Everton, that is, that's the only business that you did there?
Yeah, that is.
So I know that you left Everton eventually. What pushed you into making that kind of decision?
After the death of my girlfriend, Mirembe, it was hard to live in the same area. So,
you didn't recover from that situation?
Yeah. She died when my son was 1 year old. Okay. And I decided to go to another province. But before that, what killed Mirembe, she killed herself, by the way.
Well, can you take me through that?
Yeah.
How did it happen?
She did eat poison, rat poison. I don't know what happened actually, but what happened was one weekend I took her to her parents. She stayed there until Sunday. Then I went for her, brought her back home. We bought some food from KFC. When we came home, she prepared some food for me on the table, and she didn't eat. So I asked her, why haven't you eaten something? She told me that she wasn't, feeling like she didn't have appetite. So I just ate my food, played around with my son, and then when I got tired, I went to bed to sleep. I just told her that I've gone to bed to sleep. But what is funny, she was preparing some other stuff into the bowl, small bowl like this one, which I didn't know, but usually they are eating some foodstuffs which we don't eat. So I thought that
that's one of them.
The reason why she didn't eat KFC, maybe she wanted to eat some other kind of food.
Oh yeah.
So that's when she was preparing her poison, but I didn't know. So I went to sleep. I went to sleep at around 10 o'clock. And at around 2 o'clock, I heard someone calling me from the sitting room. She was calling, "Hey, Godfrey." So when I looked around in the bed, she was nowhere to be seen. Hey, I just jumped out of the bed when I went to the sitting room. She was so weak. She was falling from one side to the other. So I had to call other Ugandans. I told them that Mirembe is so sick. I don't know what's happening. She's very ill. So when they came, we tried to call the ambulance at that time, but it never came in time. So I decided to take her to hospital myself. So I drove her to hospital. We reached there at around maybe 3 or something, and then the doctors took it from there. So I phoned her parents at night that using the call boxes, because there were no cell phones.
Oh yeah.
So when I called them, I told them that Mirembe is very sick at hospital. So they said they will come the following day, during the day.
At that time, they have not yet established.
No. At around 5 o'clock in the morning, the doctors came out and told us that she has died. It was really painful, and I just wanted to call the parents to tell them what had happened. The doctors told me no, I was not supposed to go to make a phone call.
Why was that?
Because they were suspecting maybe something.
Foul play.
Yes,
on your part.
Yes. So they told me to give the number to my friends to go and call my parents. I mean the parents of the lady. So they did call them, and they said they will be coming during the day. So it didn't take long time for the police to come around. So the policemen came. They first talked to the medical staff. I don't know what they told them. When they came, they did ask me to go with them to make a statement to the police station. So we didn't go straight to the police station. We first went to the place where I was staying They just wanted to go and check if there was a death note or anything that they could,
Any kind of evidence.
Yeah.
To corroborate their suspicion.
Yes. So by the time we reached home, the neighbors were terrified, at the same time very angry. They were saying that we foreigners were busy trying to kill their children. So the police was trying to protect me until when we entered the house. So when we reached there, the police looked around and they happened to get that small bowl where she put the poison. Yes, she ate almost half of the portion. Now, by that time, the parents of the lady did come. They came at that time. After they got that poison. Now, they did explain to the parents, the policemen explained what happened. They told them that they were taking me they were going to find out what happened and to give them a statement, to tell them the truth. If I didn't have any hand into this, yes. Yeah. But the mother of Milembe told them that they should and just take off the handcuffs. Yes, because she said that it wasn't me who killed her.
She was
confident. Yes. Then the policemen were so they couldn't believe the lady. They said, "No, madam, these guys are very clever. You never know what happened." She said, "No, please remove the handcuffs from him. He doesn't know anything." And it was true. I didn't know anything. Now, the policeman took off the handcuffs, and then they did say that they won't let me go freely like that. They still need me to go with them to police station for further interrogation. Now what happened, we went to the police station and they started asking me what happened, how was the day before the death of Milembe. I did explain everything. They wrote down the statements and they asked me to give them my documents. They took them and then they allowed me to go home, but on condition that I had to report each and every Monday of every week to the police station.
You were on probation somewhere.
Yes. What the mother-in-law asked me to do was to prepare some burial ceremony for the late, because she didn't have money. They didn't have so much money to do the burial. Yes. So I did agree. We organized with the Ugandans. They helped me a lot, and we managed to bury the lady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at a cemetery somewhere in Everton.
This lady in your life, how do you remember her? How do you choose to remember her, in spite of the way that she left?
She was a good lady. She was loving and she was kind. Everyone loved her, most especially the Ugandans. And to name him that name, Milembe, because she was peaceful.
Okay.
So they gave her that name, Milembe.
Knowing and hearing what everyone said, you just did mention something. The South African people, the natives, saying that you foreigners had come to eliminate them.
Yes.
How did you take that, and how did it affect you moving forward?
No, we had to be very careful from then, because we knew these people can react at times when there is such a problem. Like when you are on a foreign land, you always have to, to abide by the rules, and also to be very careful with the natives.
It was an eye-opening experience.
Yes, you have to be very careful. Whatever happens, it might, it might take your life in a way that people may be angry at one point, or
So your child, your baby boy, having to take this, at that age, how do you two recover from this? Really.
The boy was too young, and when he was still very young, the parents refused to tell her what happened. They wanted him to be a little bit older so that they can tell him what happened. But what I found out was that it seems as if the parents knew what really happened, because no parent can just come and say, leave this man alone when his or her daughter is dead. So they were cocksure that what happened was because of what they know. But they never told me, even though I tried to ask the mother-in-law. She said, no, let's leave that discussion alone.
So you didn't carry any suspicion prior to that happening that maybe she was going through a difficult situation?
Never. She even decided to look after the child. Even up to now, I'm not staying with my son. He stays with them.
So how about Mirembe? You did not have any suspicion that she was having some psychological issues prior to, engaging in something that was so vile?
It wasn't. It was not a psychological problem. What I think, that's what I suspect. She told me one day that she was not in good terms with her elder sister. And the elder sister didn't like foreigners too much.
She was xenophobic?
Yes, she was sort of like xenophobic. So she used it to, to tell her that she fell in love with foreigners and brought them to their family. Okay. So what I'm suspecting, maybe they fought somehow, somewhere. And this one decided it maybe to...
It was too hard
take her life. Yeah, maybe. That's what I'm suspecting. I'm not very sure. But that's what I suspect, because she one day told me about it. That they were at times fighting with the sister.
Okay, so how do you move on from there?
From there, I decided to shift from the place. I went to Free State.
Oh, that means that prompted you to actually shift.
Because things were not so good at that time. So I went to Free State to start a new life there.
Okay.
So
you leave your child with,
I left the child with the grandmother, and then mine was to provide, assistance financially.
Okay.
Yes. Until now. Yes.
Okay, so you leave, is it Everton?
Yes.
With all your connections, everything that you've worked hard to achieve. What is the thought process? I mean, now you're going to start afresh, start from scratch. Did you have the financial capabilities to make it happen in a new state?
Actually, it was a bit difficult because, as you know, it's very expensive to prepare a burial ceremony in South Africa. It's not very easy. The cultures are different. Unlike us, in South Africa, when someone dies, when you are going to bury someone, you have to wear your best. You wear your best clothing.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration.
Okay.
And then you, like women, they like new things. They have to buy new clothing for the ceremony. And the preparations, you have to pay for the transport, for the organization that is going to do the burial ceremony.
The funeral services.
The funeral services. You have to pay all that. So the money is too much. So I sort of like ran short of money during that time. And at the same time, I was feeling so bad that I never wanted to stay in that place anymore. So come what may, I decided to leave the place and go to some other areas to start a new life.
Oh, that was
So
heartbreaking.
when I reached there, I tried to prepare, get some few monies and assistance from my brothers so that I could start afresh.
How did your Ugandan brothers, like you call them, how did they take the whole experience of you being treated like that? When they knew how close you are to your wife?
They were also wondering what happened, but they were cocksure that I did not know anything because they knew me very well.
Oh, yeah.
They did know me very well. We used to socialize a lot. We used it to help one another a lot. So they knew me very well and they never thought otherwise.
Well, folks, like he said, he lives the life that he has created to go somewhere else afresh. That is now quite humbling, because after going through so much and creating some kind of stability for yourself and having to go at it again, that for me is quite disheartening. But it did happen to Mr. Nsubuga right here. When we return, we shall get into what happened and what transpired when he got to Free State.
Free State.
Yeah, when he got to Free State, a whole different story did happen there. But then, of course, he also, his name only grew bigger. He was that lucky as a man. When we return, we shall delve into that a little bit. Remember, this is my journey abroad. Tushalinage Martin Eranga through Common Lens. Bakubiriza okebera ku mukutu gwa commonlens.com to make your bookings and to get to know more about this place. Of course, it's a beautiful place. It's located along Entebbe Road in Bwebaja. For Addict Films, make sure to check out the website addictfilms.com. We have so many services there. You can get to know more about us, the agency, the campaigns that we have, some of the skilled personalities that, subscribe to what we do. We are a film production house. But then again, we also do TV shows, we also do ceremonies and all that kind of thing. So please visit addictfilms.com. Make it a point to subscribe to this channel. Yeah, go ahead and do that like right now. Leave a comment if you have to, below. Share this video. We intend to do more of this and to entertain you and give you, educating material. Let's return after this break.